teams in the American League. A solid starting staff, accompanied by a lethal lineup, make them a shoo-in for the postseason as their terrific 2018 season continues. Tonight, Paul Blackburn gets the ball for the green and gold and will look to slow down this Astros team. Blackburn is coming off an impressive season debut last Thursday versus the Royals, allowing 1 run and getting the win. Game 2 of the series, A's, Astros, next.
It's a beautiful night for baseball at the Coliseum. Game 2 of this 3-game series, and the pitching matchup tonight, that's Garrett Cole. He's going to take them out for the Astros. Paul Blackburn will pitch for the Athletics. A's and Astros coming up on NBC Sports California, powered by Xfinity. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Oakland A's Baseball, along with Dallas Braden. I'm Glenn Kuiper. So Paul Blackburn making his second start. His first start, he was on a little bit of a pitch limit. He went 67 pitches, but still got through 6 innings, Dallas, and that's what I like about Blackburn. I think as time goes on, he's going to have the ability to pitch deep into games.
Well, he's not overpowering, so his strength is going to be being efficient in the strike zone, and that's what we did see from Paul Blackburn. You mentioned it, a 67 pitch total last time out, still working with a little bit of a leash. So if he can move this fastball around, that was a key for Mingden last night, and it's going to be a big key for Blackburn again. Lack of velocity, you've got to be able to beat guys to a spot. Look for that from Paul Blackburn.
And Garrett Cole has been everything that the Astros had hoped for and more, and really along with Verlander's teammate and probably Corey Kluber, he's a legitimate Cy Young candidate.
Legit does not even begin to scrape the top of it, Kai. He is an absolute world beater. He has set an Astros record, a franchise record, with 124 strikeouts before the All-Star break. Kai, that's a month away. This guy has really taken his game to the next level here in Houston, become an absolute horse in a stable of stallions for the Houston Astros.
Yeah, and the Astros have been very tough on the A's so far this year. Tonight, see if the A's can start a turnaround against the world champions. We'll see. Game 2 of the series, it's the A's and the Astros. We'll have lineups at first pitch from the Coliseum right after this.
Designed for the grind that comes through every time. See your local Toyota dealer today. Toyota. Let's go places. By Southwest Airlines. Low fares. No hidden fees. That's transparency. And by Jack in the Box. Try the $5.99 Jack Spicy Chicken Club combo with toasted sourdough. New from Jack in the Box.
Game 2 of the series just about set to go. Jonathan Lucroy and the Athletics taking on the world champion Houston Astros. Let's look at the game time weather for tonight. It's presented by the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk. Get to the beach. The admission-free boardwalk is open daily. Another nice night at the Coliseum as summer has definitely arrived. 68 degrees. Food trucks are in full force tonight. And the Houston Astros in town, and let's take a look at their starting lineup. It's brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Springer's in right, Altuve's at second, Correa's at short, Gurriel's at first, Reddick's in left, Gaddis is the DH, Marwin Gonzalez is at third base tonight, Stassi will catch, Marisnik is in center.
They're taking on Paul Blackburn, and we mentioned it at the top of the broadcast. A little bit of a leash last time out, 67 pitches to finish up his stellar debut for 2018 against the Kansas City Royals. We talked about his fastball usage. 83% of the fastballs he threw on the inside part of the plate against the Royals were for strikes. That's going to be a big key for Blackburn tonight. Establish in.
Defensively behind Paul Blackburn, the A's will have an outfield of Canna, Fowler, and Piscotty, an infield of Chapman, Simeon, Lowry, and Olson, with Lucroy, as you saw, doing the catching. So George Springer is easing into the batter's box, and we're set for baseball. It was a 6-3 final last night for the Astros as they got themselves a W. First pitch to Springer is a strike. So the umpires, that's Alan Porter. He's behind home plate. Angel Hernandez at first. That's Bill Miller. He's the crew chief at second. Todd Tishner is down at third.
I don't know if you noticed, Kite, first pitch slider.
Even we know the scouting report on the Astros. 14 homers, 41 RBIs for Springer. Checks his swing, and a pitch that's just a touch low.
And really, not only is it a good recipe against the Astros, you see George Springer here hold up, but it's what he did well last time out as well.
A little flare to right, and that's going to fall for a hit. And that was a breaking ball, and Springer a little bit off balance, but he gets himself a base hit to open up the ball game. Well, tonight, any 95-mile-per-hour fastball is our fast pitch, brought to you by Xfinity, the fastest Wi-Fi at home and on the go.
You just got to tip your cap there, Paul Blackburn. And a nice pitch. It's a good job of hitting by George Springer.
What can you do? Garrett Cole is ready to roll. So here is Jose Altuve. And he lines one foul. I'm going to say this real quietly, okay, Dallas?
Gotcha.
Jose Altuve was 0 for 5 last night.
Yeah. And Keipe hit into a double play, so that means he's responsible for 6 outs.
All right, let's get back to the action. Altuve hitting .336 with 5 home runs, 34 runs batted in. That was ripped foul. Curveball that kind of hung up there.
Keipe, I'm not sure if you got a shot of that, but I think Angel Hernandez is actually running first base with George Springer.
Yeah, he is. He's getting a lead off. Or he's Matt Olson and he's holding George Springer on. Or he wants to coach first base.
Make sure he goes home. I don't know that I've ever seen that.
This one tapped slowly. Chapman looks at second, now fires to first, not in time. Maybe just a slight hesitation by Chapman with a thought of going to second, and it cost him.
Well, that's what did it. You're absolutely right. Chapman wasn't sure if he was going to have time Wasn't sure what kind of break Springer got off the bat. Wanted to go 2. Knew that Altuve, being the speedster he is out of the box, might have had a tough time doubling up, and I think that's why he wanted to go back to first base and thought better of it. But still, Altuve, hard 90 down the line, even from the right side, just beats Chapman by a step.
So it goes as a hit. So 2 on, nobody out for Carlos Correa. Correa at 268. He's got 11 home runs and he's got 40 RBIs, and he takes a pitch down and away. Hit a home run last night early.
Yeah, he did. He got himself a heater up and in, opened up the hips, said, "Nope, the side feels just fine."
That's right. He had missed 5 games. A little bit of a side injury, sore side. Another breaking ball outside, and now it's 2-0.
Well, there's clearly a conscious effort here to not give in and go heater first pitch, especially early with the aggression that the Houston Astros have showed, the aggression they showed last night against Daniel Mingden. A guy who executes very well with the fastball in the zone. They were just ready.
To a pitch, another breaking ball, and this time he gets a swing and a miss, so he's staying with it.
Well, we talked about the success he had throwing at first pitch last time out. This is just a good expansion here. That's a great pitcher's pitch, not giving in. The last time out against KC, 40% sliders first pitch. AB's last time, so confident.
A little bit outside. Pitch cast tonight brought to you by SoFi, a modern finance company. On deck is Gurriel. So a bit of trouble in the very first inning for Paul Blackburn. So he takes the walk, does Carlos Correa, and with a couple guys on and a 3-1 count, that's a pretty good take by a guy who's thinking about, I want to drive in a run.
Well, it's clear Carlos Correa has a game plan. You got a really good feel for the approach against him during that AB. Obviously soft, obviously away. So he wasn't going to give in. He'll take his free pass.
So Springer, Altuve, Correa. Lots of speed on the bases. Nobody out for Gurriel. Gurriel, a couple of hits last night, 2 for 5. And that pitch is inside.
Well, this is the spot for Gurriel, leading the world, hitting with runners in scoring position, upwards of 400.
Yeah, you're right. How about 444?
Yeah.
Seriously?
Yeah.
No wonder he's hitting cleanup.
It's a high water mark in baseball.
And that one is dropped into right center field for a base hit. Springer will score. Altuve will score. Correa to third, and the Astros, 4 batters into the game, lead 2-0. So another ball that was not necessarily hit very hard, but he stayed with it.
Well, and this is I mean, you can see not terribly out in front, but this is a veteran lineup who's paying attention to the hitter in front of him. And we've seen Paul Blackburn start the majority of this lineup out with soft stuff, with breaking balls early. So Yuli Gurriel going up there with an approach, looking away, got his breaking ball. Wasn't hit well, but well enough to get that merry-go-round going.
So you're saying Gurriel, after watching the first 3 guys, probably went up there looking for a breaking ball.
There's no doubt in my mind.
So he picks up his 25th and 26th RBI, and here's Reddick. Fastball up and away. Reddick at 230 with 6 home runs. 2 for 4 last night. And another good take, 1-1. Reddick's numbers with runners in scoring position, not good. one of the few guys that does not have real good numbers in that spot. He's 5 for 38. That's a 132 average. Shallow center. Fowler coming in. Fowler's got it. Correa will bluff, but he will stay at third. Gurriel hustles back. So Fowler got a good jump. And he made a nice play right around the shoe tops.
Fly ball conducive to keeping Correa there at third. See, Red does a good job going down and getting that ball. But Fowler, a great break off the bat. Momentum coming in. Gathers himself, nice strong throw, hits the cutoff man.
So Expo brought to you by Cache Creek Casino Resort. So here's Gaddis, the hero from last night. Gaddis, 2 for 4, a homer and 5 RBIs. Fastball is high, 91 miles an hour. Gaddis overall with 11 homers, 37 RBIs.
Just another piece in this powerful puzzle for the Houston Astros. He's a guy that you talk about adding length to a lineup. You've got your usual cogs at the top, and now you're looking for let up, and you run into Oso Blanco towards the end of the lineup. You're going, hey, wait a minute.
So a 3-run homer and a 2-run double is how he got the 5 RBIs. He can hit.
He can hit, no doubt. And this is what happens at the big league level, right? You take advantage of mistakes, and you've got a lineup full of guys who can make you pay with one swing.
Sharp breaking ball for a strike, 2-1. June RBI leaders, Gaddis. Well, thanks to the 5 RBIs last night, he now has 13 RBIs this month. And the Astros are playing their 11th game in the month of June. They're 7-3 so far this month. Piscotty to his right, waits, and here comes the throw. Correa hustling home, and he's going to score. So it's a sacrifice fly for Evan Gaddis that Correa scores on, so it's 3-0.
Gaddis gets a pitch away from him that he's able to lift. Obviously, that's the game plan. Runner on third base, less than 2 outs, trying to elevate that pitch if you can, stay out of the double play potential.
So here's Marwin Gonzalez. Gonzalez is a switch hitter. Maybe the game's best. I don't even know what to call him. I don't want to call him a utility player. I don't think that gives him his just due.
That's why I like Swiss Army.
Swiss Army. He's probably the best. Taking over for maybe a Ben Zobrist, who's still a good player.
Yep.
Gonzalez led the Astros last year in RBIs, if you can believe that.
Well, he provides A.J. Hinch the ability to plug and play, and we were talking about it earlier. The ability to give starters a day off.
Yeah. You could do it every night if you wanted to.
Well, that's the thing. He could be an everyday guy just by virtue of days off for other guys.
I mean, there's the breakdown of positions he has played. Left field is the most occupied spot for Gonzalez, and that makes sense. That's sort of the spot where the Astros don't really have a regular that plays out there. Well, kind of move guys out there. Reddick goes over there and plays on that side.
And you think about left field at their yard, not a terribly difficult left field to play per se with the short porch. You know, maybe a funky angle out in left center, but other than that, you know, hit over your head, turn around, and play it off the wall.
1-2 to Marwin Gonzalez. And he lines one right past Blackburn into center field for a base hit, and the ball kicks off Fowler. Gurriel thought about trying for third, and he decides to stay at second.
That was a heads-up Paul Blackburn. So Scott Emerson's coming out.
Deep in the count, trying to put him away with that breaking ball down. Not terribly upset with the location in terms of middle, but you like to see it a little lower, trying to garner that swing. I mean, he got the swing, but if that ball's down a few inches, there's a good chance Marwin beats that into the ground, maybe rolls it over. Game of inches.
Position and catching, number 12, Max Stassi.
So here's Max Stassi. Stassi steps up. He's hitting 8th in the Astros lineup. And the first pitch just a touch inside.
Former teammate of mine. We both played
Really?
for the Yuba Sutter Gold Sox.
Nice.
Northern California. Max Stassi from the Yuba area, from the Dirty 530, as they affectionately refer to it.
Have not heard that. Now I know.
That's right. I mean, me being the 209er.
Yeah.
In the 530, the Dirty 530. But I tell you what, I had Max Stassi in spring training early on, his first big league camp with us. You want to talk about a kid who had a feel even then. No surprise he's where he's at now, especially with this club. Learning from one of the best in the game in McCann.
Yeah, he's in a good spot because he's getting to play a little bit more this year than he was last year. I mean, this is his 39th game that he has been in. Not 38 starts,
right,
but he still gets a fair amount of playing time, more than last year. Strike called.
And what's unusual, but not really if you get to know these guys, is the way that Brian McCann talks about Max Stassi, how much he's revered, how much he respects this young man and his work ethic, the way he wants to learn. You just don't hear that every day.
Yeah, how about that for a guy who really does not play that much.
Right.
But he's got the trust of Garrett Cole and Verlander. That makes a big difference.
Says a lot. You can see Stassi a little upset here.
Thought he had ball 4.
Alan Porter says, no. Come on back.
So 3-2, 2 outs. Gurriel at second. Gonzalez at first. They will take off. It's grounded to Chapman. Chapman scoops it. Throws across, and that will do it for the Astros. But they score 3 times. They get 4 hits. There was a walk. There was a sacrifice fly. Sponsors the lineup, and it's Fowler, Canna, Lowry, Davis, Olsen, Chapman, Simeon, Piscotti, and Lucroy.
They are taking on the man right there, the myth, the legend that has become Garrett Cole. Very early on here in Houston, he has been extremely dominant to the tune of a 7-1 record, 2.16 ERA. Something to keep in mind, 1.72 road ERA. So has been an absolute road warrior as well for the Houston Astros, is striking out the world. So the Oakland A's will have their hands full here tonight with Garrett Cole.
And he'll face Fowler, Canna, Lowry, the first three hitters in the A's lineup. First pitch is a fastball at 96 miles an hour for a strike.
You're going to see a lot of those tonight. That's his average fastball velocity, Kipe, 96 miles an hour. That's fourth across baseball for starting pitchers.
Fowler at 256 with 4 home runs and 12 RBIs.
Something to pay attention to tonight with Garrett Cole. You see that right there? That's Uncle Charlie. And what you saw before that was the old heater. And he's thrown a ton of them. Fastball usage up from 41% last year to 50% this year. Using the curveball way more than he ever has all but got rid of the sinker.
Well, when you watch him pitch, and he obviously high velocity, but he also has the ability to just kind of pitch up in the strike zone a little bit. You can see where maybe he said, you know what, I'm not going to use that sinker quite as much, and he is not this year.
Well, when you talk about guys 96, 97, the ability to go get you a century mark at times, no need to really worry about pitching to contact. You do have the ability to miss bats, not just barrels.
2 pitch, that one drops low.
You see there at 89 miles an hour, he's tightening things up, adding velocity, subtracting on the curveball.
Two pitches slapped to left field. It's hit pretty well. Reddick hustling back though and gets there to make the catch. Reddick was shaded just a little bit toward the line. Here's your Astros defense. Reddick in left, Marisnik in center, Springer in right. Gonzalez, Correa, Altuve, Gurriel on the infield, and Max Stassi is your catcher. So here's Canna. Sharp breaking ball in for a strike. Canna had 250, 7 homers and 21 RBIs. Knocked in a run last night, 1 for 3, also had a walk. Good curve, and it catches the outside corner.
You can just see the depth on that pitch. Good velocity at 81 miles an hour. Talked about him adding velocity, tightening things up, throwing that little slider as well, 89, 90 at times.
High fastball, foul.
Well, it's time now for the Nissan keys of the game. And I got this for you, Kite. Punch and counter punch. And what that means is don't be afraid to attack Garrett Cole. Don't be afraid to be aggressive. Punch these guys right in the mouth first. And you know what? We've seen early on this offense, they're not going to go quietly. So when they counter punch, be ready for it. But don't give in to these ABs. Don't give in out there on the mound. Be ready to attack. Punch, counter punch. Stay in the fight.
Breaking ball just got a piece of it, did Canna. Garrett Cole is 3rd in the league in ERA. He's 9th in the league in innings pitched. He leads the American League in strikeouts, and opponents are hitting 169 against him. That is 2nd lowest in the American League. So he is, those are just some of the areas where he's among the leaders in the American League.
It's a tough sled.
124 strikeouts in 87 innings. Stretch that out. Only averaging 5 hits allowed per 9 innings. Averages 12.7 strikeouts per 9 innings. That's best. Grounded to the right side. Altuve flips it on the run. 2 outs.
Well, and Kyle, I'll say this, whether it's his ability to dial up the punch outs when he needs to, or an inability to put guys away 3 or 4 pitches or less, he will throw 4, 5 pitches an AB at times, even more. So Garrett Cole, if you're going to get to him, you might be able to make him throw a few pitches, tax him early.
2 outs, and Cole faces Jed Lowry. Garrett Cole will be a free agent after next year. So the Astros, when they made that big trade in January, they knew they would have him for this year and for next year. And Verlander is under contract through next year as well. So they will have those 2 guys kind of anchoring their staff through 2019.
Yeah, I still go back to the post-game interview with Alex Bregman during the World Series, and he realized, what do you mean we've got Verlander for another year?
Yeah. And that was before that. That was before they knew they were getting Garrett Cole.
Right.
Cole came over from the Pirates for 4 players. Michael Feliz, a right-handed pitcher. Jason Martin, an outfielder. Colin Moran, an infielder. And Joe Musgrove, a pitcher. So that is how the Astros acquired Garrett Cole. That one is ripped down the right field line. Fair ball. It one-hops the wall, and Lowry's going to have a 2-out double. So Jed Lowry breaks an 0 for 17 stretch with a double off Garrett Cole.
And you can see the relief on Mr. Lowry's face as he cruises into second base. Got himself a nice little cutter that didn't make it all the way in under the hands of Jed, and he tucks it nice and neatly down in the corner in right field. Cadillac's into second, and again you can see the relief on Jed's face. I remember this.
Probably felt like 3 weeks since his last hit. First pitch, a strike to Chris Davis. Davis with 17 home runs, 46 runs batted in.
Okay, this is a matchup to watch all night as well, not only because it's just straight raw power, first power, but you've got Garrett Cole dialing up 98-mile-an-hour cheese biscuits. And KD's got a 47% swing and miss rate on fastballs, 94 miles an hour or harder. That is the worst mark in Major League Baseball. But boy, if he runs into one, look out.
And before you say, wow, well, what's the deal with Chris Davis? It's pretty common for a big power hitter to struggle against high velocity fastballs. Am I right or am I wrong?
You're correct, because a lot of the time what you'll see if you bear the numbers out, big power hitters, they're hitting a lot of mistakes. They hit a lot of mistakes, and that does mean sometimes 96, 97 finds its way over the middle, but more times than not, it's something hanging or backing up.
And listen, there's not a whole lot of guys who are handling 95 regularly in the batter's box.
Right. Talk about the great work behind the plate of McCann here. Stassi putting it on display as well.
So 2-2 to Chris Davis. And he tried to hold up, couldn't do it. Ball skips away from Stassi. He'll flip to first, and that's a strikeout to end the inning. Second inning coming up, 3-0 Astros. get live stats on your TV. Change the way you experience TV with Xfinity X1. So second inning. Those A's fans looking a little concerned, but it's early. 3-0 Astros.
That's right. Got a lot of ball game left.
So it'll be Marisnick, Springer, and Altuve here in the top of the second inning. Hit hard, fair, past the diving Matt Chapman, headed for the left field corner. Marisnick has very good speed, and he will ease into second with a double.
Well, we're starting to notice a trend here with Paul Blackburn in location down in the zone. Hasn't made a ton of terrible pitches at times, has gotten away with a few as well, but you take a look at the location on the majority of these pitches, down in the zone, off the end of the bat. Sometimes you just got to tip your cap, and then at times, obviously, they find the screws. So for Paul Blackburn, tough sledding right now in the lower part of the zone.
So the average exit velocity against Blackburn, very low in his last start.
Well, and we saw there as we took a look at that clip there, some knocks on that off speed on the breaking balls. You go back to last outing against the Kansas City Royals, Kai, 0 hits on the off speed.
And he only gave up 3 hits total. This is a fair ball. Chapman grabs it. His throw across the diamond in time. Marisnick takes off for third, so pretty good base running by Marisnick to get to third.
Yeah, that was an outstanding read by Marisnick. Realizes Chapman's going to make the decision to have to back up and play this on a bigger hop, giving him the opportunity to slide right in underneath. Heads up play by Marisnick on the base.
Well, you know, if you really watch that play, it really is, because even if Chapman said, well, I'm not going to throw it, I don't know if Chapman could have beat Marisnick to third.
Not at all. And he would have probably ended up sliding towards the infield side of third base, making it even tougher.
Infield in, Altuve takes low.
Let's look at a changeup from Paul Blackburn.
.399 batting average on the road for Jose Altuve. He had a base hit and scored in the first. Again low.
We've seen the aggression from the Houston Astros on the fastball as well as the breaking ball right now. And at times, if you don't have that third pitch just to get guys off of the heater or even just off of presentation.
And 2-0 is well inside to Jose Altuve, so now it's 3-0.
Trying to crowd Altuve. Just gets out of the way.
Altuve, the MVP in the American League last year. And he takes a walk. Altuve last year, Dallas, 346, 24 homers, 81 RBIs, 39 doubles, 4 triples, 36 stolen bases. On base percentage 410, slugging 547. He won the batting championship as well, won a Gold Glove as well. So that's how you win the MVP.
Just imagine if he starts to put it all together, Kai. Man,
still learning.
What a player he could be.
If you win it over Mike Trout in any year,
yeah, period,
then you're doing something. Runners at the corners, 1 out. Carlos Correa takes outside, so Paul Blackburn just missing his spots.
Just struggling a little bit, especially to get ahead of these guys early. And again, as aggressive as this team is, it can kind of shock you like cold water to the face in the morning. They start making nice passes early. You have to regroup. figure out a way to get in the zone early. Maybe it's soft contact, and that's why we've seen Blackburn go to the changeup here, second time through.
And that one is fair. Down the left field line again. Marisnik scores. Altuve gets to third. Now the ball is rolling away from Canna, so Altuve will score. Correa's going to end up at third. And Canna thought it was going to come off the wall a little bit, and what it did is it stayed close to the wall and rolled past him.
That's right. It hugged the wall and then caromed past Canna. Canna playing a lot of center field, finds himself in left field. Chapman unable to get to that, but you're right, Kai. You take a look. That thing usually kicks up, hits that pad, and that stayed low and true to the ground.
So the ruling is a double, 2 RBIs, and an E7.
Ooh. I got to tell you, that's a tough E7, because you just if you see that orange pipe right there, that is what that ball hit. And Mark Canna had absolutely no shot. That's not an error at all. No,
that's
sorry,
not an error.
Not at all.
And I know now, did he not play it correctly? Yes.
Sure.
But you're right, there's some stuff going on down there. And
if that hits pad, that doesn't kick the way it did.
And that one's bounced into left field, and that's a base hit. So Correa trots home, and now it's 6-0. So again,
yeah, take a look right underneath, right here, this orange piping, right there. It hits the pipe. If it hits 1.5 inches higher and catches the bottom of that pad, there's a good chance that thing doesn't make it 7 feet out. Instead, Mark Canna finds himself hightailing it down the warning track.
So still only 1 out, and here's Reddick, and he takes inside. So Yuli Gurriel has 3 RBIs in the first 2 innings. So nothing going right so far for the A's. Everything going right for the Astros. And they're hitting some balls hard. That one is line foul on the right field line. So 7 hits in the game for the Astros, and Emilio Pagan is starting to throw. So here's what I see, Dallas. And again, it's just another reason why the Astros are what they are. You saw last night when they got a pitch, if they liked the first pitch they saw, they did damage with it. If they don't like the first pitch they see, they take it, and more often than not, it's out of the strike zone, and now they're ahead in the count.
And what we're seeing here is elimination as well.
Eliminating certain pitches.
They've completely eliminated the changeup. It hasn't been thrown for strikes, so they've erased that. When they see it out of the hand, they're going to spit on it.
And that one past the diving Olsen. Gurriel to second, and Reddick with a base hit. And this is a trip that Bob Melvin absolutely does not want to make, but he's going to have to. So as good as Paul Blackburn was in his first start on Thursday against the Royals, it was a real struggle tonight. He gives up 6 runs and 8 hits in an inning and a third. When it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service. It's your trusted oil change.
World fireworks will roar like a T-Rex through the sky as the A's host the Los Angeles Angels this Friday. Presented by Ray Morgan Company. Fans can enjoy the post-game fireworks from the outfield grass set to the music of Jurassic Park movies. Bring your pack of Raptors and enjoy the show. Come on out. Visit athletics.com/fireworks for details.
So Paul Blackburn will do his best to forget about this one as quickly as possible, but maybe not easy to do. 47 pitches, but just an inning and a third. So it's Pagan who takes over. 1 out, 2 runners on for Gaddis. And Gaddis goes after the first pitch. So Emilio Pagan in the game early. It's his 20th appearance. He's 1-0, 3.68 ERA.
They're going to be looking for outs from Emilio here. He's got some innings to eat here.
Gaddis had a sacrifice fly in the first. Check swing. Pagan, since being brought back from the disabled list, or excuse me, brought back from AAA Nashville, which was on the 18th of May, he's been much better. He's made 7 outings, 8 1/3 innings, and he has not allowed a run, and he has struck out 11. So after struggling early, being sent to the minor leagues for a short bit, back and pitching pretty well.
One for Emilio here, the mindset has to be from pitch to pitch.
Left field and deep. Can it to the wall. And that one is gone. Make it 9-0 Astros here in the second. You know, sometimes we say a hitter on a pitch kind of down and in drops the head of the bat. Well, that one was inner half right in the middle.
Yeah. That one right there had nitro zone written all over it, especially for Evan Gaddis and the way he's been swinging the bat just really over the last day. Taking advantage of a couple heaters up and in.
How about this? Evan Gaddis has 9 RBIs in 11 innings in this series. Didn't know that was possible.
I think it's fair to say he's hot. He's gotten hot.
Sometimes you go way out on that limb, Dallas. Dangle out on that limb.
It's lonely.
1-1 to Marwin Gonzalez. He's the 8th man to hit. The only out in the game, or in this inning, excuse me, was George Springer. He grounded out to Chapman. But even that out advanced a runner to third. Productive.
And excuse me, I know we're looking at details, but to your point there, you think about the Astros, the success they've had, the way that lineup looks. Obviously, we see what has unfolded here early on. But sprinkled in their success and throughout their success are little things like that.
Absolutely.
The only out of the inning, albeit a long inning, was productive.
Yep.
Resulted in the manufacturing of offense. So whether it's the Astros bludgeoning you, going first to third, taking advantage of defensive miscues, whatever the case may be.
Hit well to left center field. And that one's gone. Marwin Gonzalez goes the other way, and now it's 10-0. Just a pitch up, out over the plate.
Well, again, Emilio Pagan has got good velocity. 92 here, not quite the 95s.
Now batting.
Marwin Gonzalez gets the foot down. And he takes a pull here. Anybody hungry at the Coliseum? Marwin Gonzalez has Oppo tacos.
First pitch to Stassi is on the inside corner, first strike. Right off the State Farm side, dropping straight down. So Gonzalez with his 5th home run of the year. Jake Marisnik, who started this inning with a double, is in the on-deck circle, and he's going to hit again. 0-2 fastball right past Stassi, so that is the 2nd out.
And you know what, Kite? I've been here, man. I've been here. And sometimes this is really all you can do mentally is say, you know what, put your fingers down, and you're going to get the best I have to offer right now. Mindset, you know what, locate, yes, I need to, but you know what? Things aren't going well right now. I need to get a little bit of attitude back here. And even in these last 2 pitches here, that last fastball, that last curveball, see a little more intent.
So you're saying the nibbling time is over?
Yeah. It's time to go get you some.
1-1 the count to Marisnik. 2 outs here in the 2nd inning. 7 runs have scored. Fastball there from Pagan, so Marisnik strikes out. 7 runs for the Astros. Bottom of the 2nd coming up. 10-0 Houston. In the 2nd for Houston. So it'll be Olsen, Chapman, and Simeon against Garrett Cole.
It's all right, Kite. We got 21 outs to work with.
Is it? I'm sure you pitched in games where you were given a big lead.
Sure.
Is it different? Does it feel different? Do you have to, believe it or not, sometimes maybe concentrate more?
It's not necessarily a matter of concentrating more. I think at times you can say, all right, I've really got to execute here. Look at what's happening. And you can get sidetracked and you can find yourself a few pitches in, even a few pitches into the first AB, trying to do more than you really need to do, trying to strike a guy out on 2 pitches. And what I mean is, really trying to locate fine instead of a first pitch quality strike and working from there. And at times you can become your own worst enemy, and that is the worst feeling in the world. And I go back to a start that I had I think 2009 in Yankee Stadium. We get out, we scratch a few across early. I come back out there, give up a few, give up the lead. We come back in, regain the lead. And this is all happening at Yankee Stadium.
This is going to work? No, not quite.
And I'm thinking to myself, all right, come on, you just went out there and laid an egg. They came back in and got it for you. You went out there and did the same thing. They came back in and did the same thing for you. You have got to stop it. Kaipa didn't get out of fifth.
Yeah.
And you're thinking, is this real? I've been given the insurance I need in the place I need it, and I can't go out there and get outs right now? What is going on?
And a swing and a miss by Olson. Second strikeout for Garrett Cole. Here's our Coors Light refreshing finish. Last night, Matt Chapman ties an Oakland A's single game record with 3 doubles. So Matt Chapman had 3 of the A's 7 hits and all 3 of the team's extra base hits. Scary moment later in the game, he was hit in the hand. I asked him about it today, and he said no. He said I know it looked bad. I said, did it get you right, on the top of the hand? Because that's what it looked like. Yep. He said no, actually he got it down a little bit on the meaty part of that back of the hand. So he said that was lucky. He said if it would have got me square in the back of the hand, which it looked like it did, he said that would have been bad.
Yeah, you see just the way that sort of shot off and ricocheted. Not a glancing blow by any means, but still a little angular to it.
But he showed me his hand didn't really have a mark. It didn't look like there was a whole lot of swelling. So it was a scary moment.
You always hold your breath when you're thinking about a hitter taking one on the hands.
8 miles an hour from Garrett Cole. Chapman 10 homers, 26 RBIs. He has never had a hit against Cole. 0 for 6, and all of those at bats obviously coming this year, and this is the 3rd start for Cole against the A's. He started against them on the 23rd, or make that the 29th, excuse me, of April. And that was in Houston. He had 12 strikeouts in 6 2/3 innings. And he gets Chapman swinging on a pitch that was out. So 3 straight strikeouts for Garrett Cole.
Well, that's that 90-mile-an-hour slide ball, Kite. A lot of hair on that. And again, this has been something that has been talked about with Garrett Cole beginning of the season. The increase in spin rate on his pitches, fastball, slider, curveball as well.
Hit hard to left field, and that one is off the wall. Reddick gets to it, and he gets it in quickly, and Simeon has to stay at first. Reddick turned around, he played it perfectly, and the ball bounced right back to him, which is a wonderful thing if you're an outfielder.
Well, he's back here in his old neighborhood. The street lights are still on, and he knows what to do. Plays this beautifully off the wall. You hate to see it with Marcus Simeon.
Yeah, Garrett Cole, 10-0, doesn't matter. He says, thank you very much. Josh Reddick won that Gold Glove with the Athletics. So here's Piscotty. Piscotty at 236. He's got 24 runs batted in. 6 for 21 in his career against Cole, as they were in the same division for a fair amount of time.
Yeah.
National League Central.
The Buccos and the Redbirds.
Fastball 97 miles an hour, but that's the one it's tough to lay off of.
And that's really been the key to success for Garrett Cole. Fastball is up in the zone, does a great job of being efficient up in the zone with the fastball, throwing it for strikes. We talk about changing eye level quite a bit, fastball, curveball combination. No mystery why he's had the success he's had this year with those 2 pitches.
Fastball away, 99 miles an hour. So 2-2 to Stephen Piscotty. And that is nasty. 84 miles an hour, sharp breaking ball. So 4 strikeouts in 2 innings for Cole Hamels. The leading voice and resource for women in the business of sports and events. Tonight we have female leaders joining us from some of the top sports teams, agencies, and companies in the Bay Area. For more information on WISE and to join, please visit WISESF.org. We hope they're having a good time. Maybe they don't like the score very much.
Yeah.
If they're good, solid athletics fans, but they look like they're having fun, and that's important. 10-0, top of the 3rd. So I think I said Cole Hamels going to break, and of course I meant Garrett Cole.
Yeah.
I was distracted because the Rangers and the Dodgers got in a fight.
Yeah, a little big league fracas.
Yeah. I'm sure you'll see highlights about that. Cole Hamels was on the mound. He did not necessarily have anything to do with it.
No, no. Good play at the plate.
2-1 to George Springer. Altuve to follow, then Correa. Springer a single and a ground out. If you're just joining us, I'm not going to tell you what has happened. It's 10-0.
Right.
I'm not going to go over it.
Figure it out.
Springer fouls it straight down.
And Kipe, you know, it's real easy at this time to check out, especially if you're down in the bullpen. This is going to be a bullpen affair. So this is where those mental tests come into play. Over the course of the season, you have times like this, things that you're not prepared for. But now what you have is an opportunity to learn. There's always an opportunity to come to the yard and learn. And even in a boat race like this, like we said, there's a lot of meat on this bone, still a lot of ball game left to be played. But right now, the mental test is staying in tune with the game, staying in tune with game situations, looking at the lineup, doing the math, figuring when your time might come.
And another strikeout for Pagan. So he's gotten 3 outs, all on strikeouts tonight.
He'll take it, running that 95.
Now batting.
Up and out of the zone. Springer very susceptible to that high heater.
Altuve.
So here's Altuve. Well, the bullpen group knows that they're going to get some action tonight.
That's right. And again, the mindset, if you are one of these first few guys that gets ran out there, you're looking to eat up as many outings as possible. Your mindset should be to go out and earn yourself a couple days off.
That's right. Last night it was Coulomb, Hendricks, Casilla, Hatcher. Combined, they went 4 1/3.
Right. Because realistically, if you're down there in the bullpen, the mindset should be, all right, who's going to help us? Who's going to save us? Who's going to protect us? Us right now. So the next 3 guys, 4 guys that get run out there, if we're going to be afloat tomorrow, it's going to be because of the work we all do collectively today.
That's right. Quick turnaround. And Fowler goes back. And obviously you got a weekend full of games, so you don't have an off day till Monday.
That's right. So even in these situations, might be easy to roll over or check out mentally, kind of go through the motions here. You never want to think that happens at the big league level.
Batting, number 1,
it's a long season.
Carlos Correa.
So here's Carlos Correa, who has walked and scored and then tripled in 2 runs and scored. And I say triple because that was changed to a triple. Remember, originally it was a double and an air on the left fielder, but it was changed to a triple, which I think we both agree that's probably the right call.
Yep. In all fairness to Canna.
So eliminate the air and give Correa a triple instead of a double. So Correa now with 42 RBIs on the year. He hit a line drive into the left field corner, and the ball kind of ricocheted off the sidewall, hit down in the lower part where there's like a pipe, and the ball kind of shot past Marcana. Believe it or not, it did hit that pipe.
Yeah, it hit some plumbing. Or
how long do you think that plumbing's been there?
Well, I was going to say this, Kai.
1968.
It's not the first time that plumbing has reared its ugly head here.
That pipe underneath the padding has been here since day one.
Yeah. There's probably water from 72, 73, 74.
Oh, absolutely. See, you're going to tell me that pipe's been changed? Look at there's a fork down there.
Yeah.
Plastic. So whatever you need, it's full service area down there. So 2-2 the count to Carlos Correa.
And again here, you're looking for, there it is. At least it's not a spork.
It's true. Used or unused, we do not know. Good swing by Correa.
I was going to mention, you're still looking for moments to get you up. If you're a player here, or if you're a pitcher here, and you're wearing this right here, 2-2. Carlos Correa already got himself knocked today. Some good ABs. Win this battle.
And he does. Pagan with a 95-mile-an-hour fastball. So 4 strikeouts for Emilio Pagan. 10-0 Astros. Opponent's batting average on the four-seam fastball. Garrett Cole on top. The league is hitting 124 against his four-seam fastball. And then, of course, Dallas is the fastball that has a little more velocity and a little less movement compared to the two-seam fastball.
That's right. No longer throwing that sinker. You see there the true life on the 95. Little straighter, holds its line, holds its plane a little more. Can give those hitters that riding effect, that riding visualization, like it almost explodes and rises.
Jonathan Lucroy, who has had a lot of success against Garrett Cole in his career. He lines a single to right field. He's a birthday boy.
Now batting number 11.
How about that?
Justin Fowler.
32 years old today. Jonathan Lucroy, terrific addition for the A's. We hope he sticks around for a while.
Wouldn't mind it. And I know those starters wouldn't mind it either. You got a nice veteran presence and Jonathan Lucroy experience around the game, both leagues. And I know our guy Ray Fosse talks a lot about the binder that he carries with him. And it's really what it is. It's just tangible proof of institutional knowledge.
Now, are you talking about the binder Ray carries or the binder Lucroy carries? Because Ray has numerous binders.
Yes.
With information that goes back a long way.
Right, I know. We've got Google these days, though, and Lucroy has a binder for everything that he's learned over the course of the years. The approach.
Keeps it all, right?
Yep.
Jonathan Lucroy's been around a while. One and two to Fowler. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. 84 miles an hour. So strikeout number 5 for Garrett Cole. So he's doing his thing with the strikeouts.
Well, fastball usage up, Kite. We've talked about this. Curveball usage also up. And it's for that reason right there. I mean, it's simple in theory, very difficult to apply at the major league level. Garrett Cole is making it look easy. Fastball's up, curveball's down, velocity up and out of the zone to speed you up, slow you down, drop it in front of the plate.
Canna lines one down the left field line, headed for the corner, just foul. So that was close.
And I like that from Canna. Get up there, get aggressive. This kind of plays into the punch, counter punch approach. Right now, the Oakland A's looking for a way to pick themselves up off the mat. It's up at the barbecue terrace.
So 0-1 to Canna. Loops this one toward right, but Springer's there, and Springer grabs it for the second out. It's always frustrating for a hitter. You hit a ball good, you miss a home run by what, 5-6 feet. Pitch is ready, walk it back to the bench.
But you know what? It's a lot better than coming up goose eggs altogether, maybe not making contact. Get yourself a loud strike, and then you look down at your bat like it's got a hole in it. So it's nice to make contact, especially against a guy like Garrett Cole. He's got a little bit of swing and miss in him, Kite.
Yeah, yes, he does. He does have a little bit of that. You're right. First pitch to Lowry, foul back.
And you can see now the Oakland A's still here, just the bottom of the third inning, still early in the ball game. Garrett Cole at 50 pitches, but the Oakland A's looking to be aggressive a little earlier this time around.
Lowry's double in the first inning was his 18th of the year. So after a bucket full of doubles last year, he's doing that again this year.
Yep.
Single season athletics record for doubles. Lays off that time.
See here, Max Stassi going to the wristband. All right, 2-1. Might see a curveball here from Garrett Cole. Likes that curveball to get himself back in the count. 10-0 might just be a good old country fastball.
Lowry, check swing foul ball. Lowry last year with 49 doubles. Got to be heads up in the on-deck circle.
Yep, watch your lips. Little excuse me there from Jed. Is he not too happy with himself?
Major shift on the infield and major shift in the outfield. Altuve comes charging in, flips to first, and they get Lowry. Side is retired. Fourth inning coming up, 10-0 Houston. To nothing. Yuli Gurriel's had a big night. He's 2 for 2, 2 singles. His first single knocked in 2, his second single knocked in 1, so he's got 3 RBIs. As Dallas pointed out, leading the major leagues in batting average with runners in scoring position. So if you're wondering why Gurriel hits cleanup, that's why. He's not a big power hitter.
Well, and you know,
he's really not. He's a gap-to-gap guy.
And I think as the game continues to evolve and teams identify what roles guys can fill out based on their roster construction, you might not see the guy who you think can give you 30 or 40 in that hole. If it's about guys on base and a player's ability to square balls up and put together good at-bats in those high-leverage situations, and the numbers sort of show that,
sure.
Well, I think you're going to see teams start to utilize guys that have bat-to-ball skills in run-scoring situations and RBI opportunities more than you're going to see the true 3 outcome guy.
I agree with you 100%. Simeon backs up, and he's got it.
It's time to go get you a free BP jersey. That's right, for groups of 15 or more on select games, July 1st, July 31st, August 3rd, August 7th, August 22nd, and then finally on September 5th with games against the Yankees, Dodgers, and others. Visit athletics.com/group for details.
So 1 away. Hang in there, A's fans. Reddick with a base hit and a run scored in the second inning. He takes a little bit high. Yeah, when in doubt, when you're down 10-0, you go right. for the loaf of sugar.
Yeah, you go.
Which is called cotton candy.
Sugar overdose.
I gotta be honest with you, I never jumped into the cotton candy thing.
No, as a kid?
I didn't.
It wasn't high on my list.
Of course, maybe my mom or dad was like, don't even think about it.
Yeah. That's.
Yeah, I never. I don't know.
That's the treatment I got when I was a little boy. My mom's taking me to Stockton Ports games down there, the west side of Stockton, Billy Hebert Field.
See, that doesn't do anything for me right there.
Yeah, well,
because I never really got into it as a kid.
Yeah, you got me excited just colors alone.
Broken bat. Piscotti with a long run, and that's the second out. So you were going to Stockton Ports game when you were just a little guy?
Oh, just a little guy. Just a little guy. This is not a little guy here. This is Oso Blanco. The White Bear, Evan Gaddis, deposits the Pagan heater out to left field. Pagan not too excited about it. I feel you. Man on fire. Kipe, what was that note you dropped? 11?
Well, let's see. 9 RBIs in this series. His 4 RBIs tonight came in the first 2 innings. So he had 9 RBIs in the first 11 innings in this series. It sounds really good.
Yeah. He's enjoyed his time. He's enjoyed his time in the Bay Area.
Evan Gaddis.
Remember, he was a guy that spent some time behind the dish.
A little bit. Hurt the A's a lot in his career. 15 home runs in 53 games.
Remember, we were having the conversation about OPS yesterday. OPS north of 900.
Where's Gaddis at? 467 slugging, 300 on base. Not quite.
Not quite. But here against Oakland, I think that's at 955.
I get your point.
Yep.
Two and two the count. Pagan at 45 pitches, so he's getting stretched out. And the 2-2 pitch, a breaking ball, and Gaddis chases it. So that's a 3-up, 3-down inning. That's 5 strikeouts for Emilio Pagan. Bottom of the 4th coming up. Davis, Olsen, and Chapman trailing the Astros 10-0. Astros got 3 in the first and then blew it open with 7 in the second. First pitch to Davis, close but a bit outside. Chris Davis struck out swinging in the first inning. Hit hard off the glove of Correa. He picks it up, he throws high, and Davis is going to be aboard. So leadoff man aboard. Hey, Authentic Fan Fridays are back and in a brand new area. That's the A's Treehouse behind Section 234. This Friday, the first 500 fans that show up get an authentic A's swinging hat. And all fans can pick up one of our Collector Series cheer cards. This week it's the big fella Matt Olson. For details, log on to NBCSportsCalifornia.com. That is a cool cheer card.
I like them all.
In for strike, 1-1.
See Liam Hendricks getting it going.
Well, there's, you think, wow, it's 10-0. I mean, there's a little bit of an art to running the bullpen in games like this, too.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I know that sounds a little crazy. Cole is going to take it himself, I believe. Yes, and he hangs on. So, Garrett Cole said, get out of the way, I got it. And the shift was on, so Marwin Gonzalez was playing shortstop, so he had a long ways to go. And
well, it can be done, Kipe. It can be done. Pitchers, they can play baseball too. You can be relied upon.
This just in?
This just in. I know by definition we're just throwers of balls, but you can corral them at times too.
So you can catch a pop-up if you have to?
That's right. We go put pop-up priorities. We're not just a hood ornament out there.
You're not just a pretty face?
That's right.
Another pop-up on the infield. And Altuve gets behind first base and makes the catch. So Chapman is out. 2 outs for Marcus Semien. Well, after what we saw last night, where there was couldn't see the baseball very well in the outfield. And it was about this time of night, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, there's a little bit more of a haze tonight in the sky, giving the fielders a little something to judge the depth against.
Curveball inside to Marcus.
Still a gorgeous night here in the East Bay. I don't know that there's many better sights than a big green field like that. Clay Wood does a tremendous job of keeping this thing game ready.
Looks beautiful. So 2-0, little 88, huh?
2-0, take something off. And again, just because you're up 10-0 on the flip side of this, Garrett Cole, you're not up there just laying in fastballs, trying to get your work in. You've got a game plan you need to execute. Better off to approach this like it's a 0-0 ball game.
Chris Davis is going to hustle over to second. Pitch was in the dirt. Stassi got a piece of it. He just could not keep it in front of him. So it's a wild pitch.
Yeah, try to get around this thing here and funnel it back to home plate. Just off his hip flexor, that right hip flexor just underneath that chest protector. He's able to get some pad on it. A little bit better situation.
That one's off the plate. So Marcus Semien with the walk. He's got a couple of runners on with 2 outs.
Well, here we go. We're going to take a look at the real athlete, Kite. The pitcher. A little trailer. Huh? I got it. I got it. Don't worry. You got the shift on. You got outs to get, Kite.
Yeah. One. That's what I put in my book. 1. How about this? Shift work. teams with the most defensive shifts this year, the Astros, by a pretty large margin, have the most shifts. So there you go. So, I mean, over 1,000 times.
Well, I had the opportunity to work with a good buddy of mine, Eduardo Perez.
Yeah. Big Eddie.
Who spent some time with the Houston Astros organization, and he was actually the individual in charge of not only charting the defensive positioning, but also communicating that to the fielders at times. And he said, brother, that was a full-time job in itself.
Fly ball right center, hit well. Marisnik back. Marisnik at the wall, and that baby's gone. Piscotty, a 3-run homer. So home run number 4 for Stephen Piscotty.
We get the 4-seam fastball. We talked about Garrett Cole having all but strapped the sinker. So here's that true 4-seam riding fastball. They wanted it in, never made its way quite back to the inside part of the plate, and Stephen Piscotty is there waiting to take advantage.
So the E's get a big hit, 10-3. Piscotty, his 4th home run. He now has 27 RBIs on the year. A little pop-up. Altuve. Oh, he caught it. I didn't think he had any chance. We should know better. Piscotty with a 3-run homer, so we are headed to the 5th inning. The A's are on the board. It's now 10-3.
Is brought to you by Kelly Moore Paints. Go where the pros go. Kelly Moore, the painter's paint store.
So Stephen Piscotty with a 3-run homer to get the A's on the board. It's 10-3, top of the 5th inning. And when it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your trusted oil change, tune-up, and smog expert. So Liam Hendricks comes in for appearance number 9, just off the disabled list. First pitch to Marwin Gonzalez in first strike.
And he's a guy you like to have down there in that bullpen, especially in a time like this. Obviously, he's a guy you can deploy in really any situation, but a guy that can get you some length as well, multiple innings.
This is what Marwin Gonzalez did in the 2nd inning. It was the 2nd batter that Pagan faced. So it was not a great start for Pagan. The first 2 hitters he faced hit home runs, but to his credit, he really settled in nicely after that. And when it was all said and done, Pagan went 2 2/3 innings, had 5 strikeouts.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the first batter he faced was Gaddis, and Gaddis hit a 3-run homer. Gonzalez also singled in the first inning, so he's 2 for 2. Again driven to left field. Canna hustling back, and Canna's going to get there. So out number 1 here in the top of the 5th inning. So here is the strikeouts for Emilio Pagan.
Well, you mentioned the long ball, Kite, but it's about settling back in, settling down, and we talked about winning the battle, going pitch to pitch with guys. Don't worry about the scoreboard, worry about executing. And that's what Pagan was able to do, and you like to see guys compartmentalize throughout their outings. Early on, you get touched up a little. You've still got a responsibility. You've got to get us through these next couple innings, if possible, get the boys some outs. And that's what he did. So you like to see him, like you said, settle in. You know, it's very easily done to let these sort of innings snowball on you quickly, and he didn't do that.
No, and then he was able to get back out there and throw 2 more innings.
Right. Put the clamp on.
Inside to Stassi. Stassi, a ground out and a strikeout. Astros sitting on a 6-game winning streak. So they are rolling along right now. Part of a 10-game road trip they're on. They will go to Kansas City this weekend. Mariners won again today in dramatic fashion. Nothing seems to be able to slow them down.
Well, Mitch Haniger.
Yeah. But as I look at those standings, and I still feel like it's middle of June, so it's, I don't want to say it's early, but we're not into August yet. But what you don't want to see is you don't want to see separation.
Right.
And unfortunately, you are starting to see that a little bit with Seattle and Houston separating themselves from even the Angels and the Athletics and the Royals. I mean, the Rangers, excuse me. I mean, listen, you play the season, you want to finish in first place, and you look at the standings a lot. I'm not saying the players do, but we all do because we're fans.
Well, players do too.
To see, you know, 8, 9 games back, then there's a little bit of concern.
Well, I'll tell you, Kyle, you're sitting in that dugout down there, and you're looking out at the out-of-town scoreboard, and you're kind of doing the math, and you know, you check in from time to time. Obviously, you're showing up every day at the yard. You've got a feel for how things are going for you and your club. But you know that there's impact out there on that scoreboard. You're watching, paying attention.
No question. I mean, you don't have to be a genius to know that, listen, the Mariners are doing everything right now. Now, that'll change at some point. Piscotty near the line makes the catch. So Liam Hendricks has a 3-up, 3-down inning. Bottom of the 5th coming up. It'll be Fowler, Canna, and Lowry.
hashtag Hats Off for Heroes. For each post, T-Mobile will donate $1 to support veterans.
Top of the order for the A's against Garrett Cole. It's a swinging foul ball from Dustin Fowler. I guess that's the only way a foul ball could really be a foul ball, right?
Well, check swing. Not a full swing.
That's true.
So,
thank you.
I got you.
You just picked me up.
Got you.
High and deep left center field. Reddick hustling over, and Reddick plays pretty shallow when he plays left field, and we've seen him kind of move himself toward the line a little bit, but he has that ability to get back, go to his left, and he made a pretty nice play.
Well, you see a lot of guys for different reasons play at different depths. Talk about Mike Trout playing deep, his ability to come in on the ball, sort of protecting himself. Josh Reddick, a guy, I don't want to say he plays with reckless abandon, but we've seen him climb and scale and hang on and over walls to catch balls.
Now here's Canna, who's 0 for 2. Canna just missed a 2-run homer in the 3rd inning. So what do you think, Dallas? I know it's early yet, middle of June, but Verlander, Kluber, Cole. I think those are your top 3 Cy Young candidates, and a lot of things could change. Not even halfway yet. Verlander, best ERA. Kluber second. Cole is 3rd. Kluber's got 10 wins.
And those are
Verlander has 8.
talking about the usual suspects here, right?
Yeah, well, that's definitely true. That is definitely true. Kluber leads the league in innings pitched. Cole is 9th. Verlander is 2nd.
So I think right now it's probably a Verlander, Kluber, Cole.
Yeah, that's probably right.
Because I think one thing you have to keep in mind when you start considering these types of awards in this day and age, you know, I mean, the 200 inning mark is going to mean a lot more so than it ever really has, in my opinion.
Altuve throws out Canna. So you're talking about Cole and Verlander, 2 of the top 3, we think, top Cy Young candidates. And they're on the same team. Yeah. Charlie Morton's having a great year. Lance McCullers is very good. Dallas Keuchel's the guy who's really not having a good season.
Uncharacteristically, you see there, obviously, the 4.5 ERA.
And Charlie Morton and Dallas Keuchel will both be free agents at the end of this year.
One thing I paid attention there, the whip and the walks. 22 walks, I think, for Keuchel. The whip around 1.3, so you're talking about traffic.
Lowry bunts. Stassi with a nice play. Boy, he bounced out behind home plate, threw out Lowry, and that's a 3-up, 3-down inning.
California is brought to you by the Chrysler Pacifica Hybrid, America's first hybrid minivan. Test drive one today.
Got to be the treehouse. See, those guys are having a good time no matter what. See, that's what's great about the treehouse. No matter what the score is, and you certainly hope the score is where you'd like it to be, but no matter what the score is, you're going to have a good time.
Yes.
If it's a bad score like tonight, just shift your gears. Go play some foosball.
Play another one. That's it. Play it again. We'll check in.
That's what's great about the treehouse. Swinging and a miss. Springer pulled off that one. When George Springer first came up, his rookie year, that's the swing he took every time.
Yeah.
And he would run into one once in a while. But he has, man, has he tightened up his swing. He still has a fairly big swing, and he still swings hard. But
well, it's controlled aggression.
Absolutely.
Kipe, he has a feel, he has an idea, he has a game plan. He's not up there just trying to apply tools. He has an idea of what he's trying to do from pitch to at pitch, at bat to at bat.
2 pitch. Down and in. See, Springer's got one of those bats you showed us early in the year. The handle.
The axe handle?
Yeah, see some of the guys using those.
Yeah.
There it is.
And again, those are for guys who you like to, maybe get down on the knob, and they would have that knob sort of digging into the palm of their hand, trying to create the ability to whip that bat head.
Chapman has it. So what you're saying is, so instead of that end of the bat digging into their hand, that grip just kind of extends the handle.
Yeah, a little
longer on the one side. Right?
Yeah, and when you think about swinging an axe, that handle is conducive to that path, right?
Gotcha.
To that natural swing path. And that's sort of what the hitters are doing. You see hitters try to keep their hands and pull their hands in. Well, you take that knob to the ball, and then you let the hands go. You release the hands. Releasing the hands releases the head of the bat. That creates the whip. And you see guys, you hear about the hamate bone injury. And a lot of time that can be from the knob of the bat digging into that bone area. And, you knock the hook off that hamate bone and got to go in and get it taken care of.
And you do see guys wrap a finger or two down
on
the handle just to get a little extra bat. Altuve's got a pretty normal grip.
So he's got that big flared handle at the bottom as well.
Olsen hustling over. And Olsen reaches out, and he could not quite hold on. So he reached into the still photographer well. I love Matt Olson's expressions.
Oh,
man.
Just not too excited about the camera guy. The camera guy's got his lens hanging out over there.
But then
he's only worried about himself. Yeah, that's the best part, Kipe. Oh, he checks with him.
The ball.
Was I in your way?
You want a souvenir, Matt?
Well, I've got something for you.
He handed to Olsen. Good flipped his.
Good try. Good try, Matt.
2-1 the count to Jose Altuve. Altuve, a single, a walk, and a fly ball to center field. He scored a couple of runs.
Yeah, you down there in that well, you gotta have some court awareness.
Absolutely.
Get that lens back.
And if a infielder who just ran like 80 yards to get to the foul ball, and it tips off his glove, handing him the ball is not a good idea.
Yeah.
Olsen coming over again. Watch this. Hey, Matt, you want a souvenir?
You almost had it.
Yeah, thanks.
Oh, appreciate you.
Whatever.
Beat it.
So 3-2 to Jose Altuve. Second inning of work for Liam Hendricks. He's retired all 4 hitters that he has faced so far.
Gary Pettis, third base coach. He's going to be in the Bay Area a lot this year, right? His son.
That's right.
Drafted by the San Francisco 49ers.
He's a burner.
He is a burner.
He'll be handling return duties.
Dante, right? Dante Pettis, I believe, is his name. So that'll be fun, something to watch for when you check out the Niners if you're going that route. So Altuve checks his swing. They go down to Angel Hernandez, and Angel says, nope, he didn't swing.
Look at this. Get a shot of the side here, and that's a swing. That is, if he hits it, it's a double, Kite.
Number 1, Carlos Correa.
You can see Liam Hendricks not too excited about that either.
Here's Correa who takes a strike. So we showed you Angel Hernandez early in the game, and I think it's interesting. I like what he's doing, though. He's very, very close to first base. He wants to get a close look on pickoff plays, right? But he doesn't stay there. When the pitch is thrown, he moves to make sure he's in line to see a fair foul ball. I think that's a good move.
I mean,
right? No?
Well, no, I'm with you. You have to, as the game evolves, you have to continue to evolve. You have to continue to try to look for ways to put yourself in the best possible position to make a decision.
I'm just saying, I think he probably wants to get a better look at the pickoff play.
Oh, no doubt.
If you're up the line a little bit, or I guess it would be down the line, you're not getting that great of a look on a pickoff play,
right?
Because the hand, you're behind the play.
Well, what happens is if there's a headfirst slide by Altuve back into the bag, and Angel is down the line, he doesn't have a shot. He doesn't have a visual lane to see whether or not the body is blocked off.
He can't see the glove touch the hand.
Right.
But he can where he's standing there.
And so it's a good effort by Angel to try to up his game.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think it's a good move. I mean, I always thought it was strange, like you'll see umpires stand on the chalk line, maybe 6-7 feet behind first base,
right,
when there's pickoff plays going on.
And again, you see him back up there. But yeah, it's very weird. For me as a left-handed pitcher, it would be something that I would have noticed almost immediately.
Well, there's a lot going on, right? There's 4 people standing in a 10 by 10 area.
And it's just not something you're used to visually taking in.
Correa bounces it, and it's a foul ball. Chapman showing off anyways. So again, it's a foul ball. All right, so we want to show you some Dante Pettis highlights because, come on, he's a second-round draft pick of the 49ers. There he is.
And you talk about one of the most exciting plays in all of sports is a return, punt return, kickoff return, the opportunity to take it to the house. Go ahead and dial up Pettis. You can go ahead and dial up 6.
That's awesome. So Gary Pettis will enjoy watching his son at Levi Stadium. He was pretty fast too.
Not bad. Not bad.
Starting to wonder if Carlos Correa is ever going to get in there and hit. Not sure that it's going to happen tonight anymore. Another timeout call.
Little cat and mouse here if you're Liam Hendricks. Dig in 2-2. Execute a well-located slider here.
And he did execute a good slider down and away. And Carlos Correa, it took a while, but he finally struck out.
Well, you can see Liam start to really get a feel for this pitch right now as the inning has gone on.
Number 10.
Talk about shaping pitches, does a good job of getting on top of this. See, they're creating a little more depth to it. Correa runs out of bat.
So 2 outs with Altuve still at first, and here's Gurriel. Gurriel 2 for 3 with 3 RBIs. Slices that one foul. Blackburn an inning and a third. Pagan 2 2/3. Hendricks an inning and 2/3 so far. Good pitch there, 92 miles an hour, well located.
It's quality action down in the zone from Liam Hendricks. It's good to see the angle on the fastball. Lets you know that lower half is feeling a little better. He's able to drive.
Up the middle, and it's into center field for a hit. Altuve to second, stops. Gurriel is 3 for 4.
3 for 4, Kipe, and he takes care of this one with one hand. Liam Hendricks does a tremendous job of chasing him inside. You can see Gurriel pulling the hands. Ow! Get off me, ball.
So Scott Emerson comes out to speak with Liam Hendricks.
Well, folks, the 2018 Camping World MLB All-Star Ballot is now open and exclusively online for you to take advantage of. Make sure your favorite A's are represented on this year's squad by voting at athletics.com/vote. Catch all the excitement of the 89th MLB All-Star Game, presented by MasterCard, July 17th, live on Fox.
National Stadium.
That's right.
Nationals ballpark.
DC. Alex Ovechkin gave his world-famous Stanley Cup speech.
Yeah, there was a lot going on with Alex Ovechkin. He had a good time.
He's had a good run, no doubt.
They say act like you've been there before, but then the Capitals have never won, so you really can't say it to him.
Don't make it organic.
Up and away in the count. 1-1 to Reddick, who's 1 for 3 with a single. And didn't they? Just like all of a sudden out of nowhere, in like the middle of an inning, Ovechkin just showed up in the upper deck.
Yep.
It was like San Diego Chicken. Remember, he'd be gone for 2 innings, and then he would just show up like in the furthest part of the ball.
Yeah. And Ovechkin,
he took the Stanley Cup, just walked around, and then showed up in the upper deck.
he was just hanging out in the upper deck. He found himself a suite, and he's got it perched above his head. I mean, that man has spent the last 72 hours, Kipe, wandering around with a cup above his head.
Yeah, and a cup in his hand.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got to get some sleep at some point. 1-2 to Reddick. 2 on, 2 out here at the top of the 6th. That's in the dirt.
That's a good job by Luke.
Simeon playing up the middle for Reddick. Field shifted a little bit toward left center. And Reddick chases a pitch down and in for the strikeout. So the Astros strand a pair. Bottom of the 6th coming up. It's 10-3.
Blue Sports. Nominate a student athlete you know at NBCSports.com/fairplay, and they could be featured on TV.
Bottom of the 6th inning. Garrett Cole back to work. That one's hit deep to right field. And that baby's gone. Chris Davis with number 18 to make it a 10-4 game. A couple of home runs tonight for the A's off Garrett Cole.
Well, you want to be ready when you step in the box against Garrett Cole. 91% of the time, you will see a strike within the first 2 pitches. And KD, if he gets a strike that he thinks he can handle, he's going to pull the trigger, and he does here. Gets that fastball away, and we know about his ability to jump ship to right field. Heads up, Will.
Here's Olsen. So 18th home run of the year. Mike Trout leads the American League in home runs. This is coming into today. Trout has 23. So 7 to center, 6 to right.
It's a pretty good job of distribution. See here, fastball, outer third.
Davis now with 47 RBIs as well. So hit a home run, go back, relax.
Put the hoodie on, watch some video, stay warm in the cage. And you know, it really is a lot more difficult than that. Becoming a designated hitter, getting used to the role of designated hitter, figuring out your routine. How do you stay ready? How do you stay sharp?
And he was an everyday player last year, and he's really DHing for the first time in his career. I mean, and he's I mean, how many games has he played in the outfield? 4 or 5 maybe?
Right.
So seems like he's adjusted to it fairly well.
Now batting third baseman.
But not everybody can do that.
Right. It is, when you hear people talk about the mental side of the game, the mental approach to sports in general, you know, if you're a guy who's been in the lineup day in, day out, an everyday guy, and now that's kind of being taken away from you, and your central focus is solely at the plate, this is the only opportunity you have to help the team.
Yeah,
that could be something that people think about and allow that to creep in, and now you feel like you're impacting the team less, and that's not necessarily the case.
Danny Coulomb warming up, the lefty. 85 pitches for Garrett Cole. Chapman on a 2-0 pitch had a good swing.
You also got to think about the player themselves, the mindset. You know, I always go back to Ryan Healy and think about the time he spent here in Oakland, not really able to scratch out a home defensively for himself, but the numbers showed, the numbers said, when this kid is in the field, he can play, he can swing the bat, no doubt. Maybe some hurdles to get over mentally dealing with just a DH role that early in his career. And look at Chris Davis, is taking to it nicely.
And that one just a touch low.
Well, our good friend StatCast is going to give us some info here on this KD crush. 106 off the bat, 27 degrees, launch angle, 406 feet away from home plate here at the Rick. KD enjoying the handiwork.
First pitch in for a strike to Marcus Semien. Ryan Healy had a big series. The Mariners, as we said, won again today. He had 4 home runs in the 3-game series against the Angels this week. Swinging and a miss, and it's quickly 0-2 to Marcus.
He's finding himself a home in there. That lineup, Nelson Cruz as well.
Marcus, kind of an emergency swing.
Yeah.
On a nasty curveball from Cole. A sharp breaking curveball.
Again, we talk about spin rate. High spin rate on a fastball, high spin rate on a curveball, essentially turning that baseball into a big white visual, tough to pick up spin on.
There's the high fastball. Spin rate, that's a new, often used term for pitchers now. I think they start looking at spin rate as soon as they get that first year in the minor leagues. And if
Yeah.
that's how can we improve spin rate, or we really like his spin rate.
Right. Yeah, you're looking at a sinker baller whose spin rate might not jump off the page at you. Lower revolutions, but a ton of movement. You might be okay with that.
Actually, I say that they're looking at spin rates in high school now.
I believe it.
You know,
I would bet. If you've got the tools, if you've got because that's really what it's been about, Kipe, is having the resources, the technology, being able to apply it. And it's one thing to have that information. If you don't know how to convey it, translate it.
It's true. 3-2 pitch, popped up. Looks like Gonzalez is going to have a play in foul territory. He does for the second out. So that'll bring up Piscotty. So for the first time tonight, some action out in the Astros bullpen. That's Will Harris. Cole had 95 pitches. And he's given up 4 runs tonight. That's the most runs he's given up in any start this year.
That's right.
He's given up 3 runs 4 times. He is with a 3-run homer by this man, Stephen Piscotty, and then the Davis home run. So Cole has now allowed 11 home runs this year. He's done that in 94 innings.
Scotty homer. Statcast, our friend, once again, 102 off the wood, 33 degrees, almost 400 feet away, 386 feet. But the impressive part, Kipe, Oppo, up in the zone, stayed inside of the ball, up in the zone, not easy to do. You shoot that ball out to right field here at night, it's with authority.
1-2 pitch, got him swinging. So Piscotty strikes out. The A's get a run on Chris Davis. Home run. 7th inning coming up. It's now the Astros with a 10-4 lead.
June 22nd, the park is gone. Don't miss the movie event of the summer when Jurassic Park Fallen Kingdom hits theaters. Astros with a 10-4 lead, 7th inning. Danny Coulombe takes over. Looks like Garrett Cole's night is probably finished.
Good chance around that century mark with the pitch count. Got a nice cushion.
So Coulombe facing Gaddis, Gonzalez, and Stassi. And that one's hit high in the air. Left field. Gaddis again. Yes. Back-to-back 5 RBI games for Evan Gaddis tonight. 2 home runs.
I don't know what to do, Kite.
I don't either.
I mean, he's just done a great job of taking advantage of mistakes. We talked about power hitters typically taking advantage of more mistakes than necessarily hitting the high octane. And this speaks right to that. Cutter up. That is just punishing baseballs right now.
So when it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your trusted oil change, tune-up, and smog expert. So Danny Coulombe gives up the home run to Gaddis and now faces the switch hitter Marwin Gonzalez. Ryan Buchter, who's getting closer, still going to be a little while.
Yeah.
He's got maybe, say, 4 more rehab appearances to make. Sounds like he's going to go to AAA in Mayville.
Yep. Talked to Book today down in the clubhouse.
So he's getting closer, but not quite there yet.
You gotta make sure that whip is right, you know, and a lot of times you got to remember for relievers, there's a couple things at play. Rest and recovery, your ability to bounce back. Now you want to get out there and maybe go back-to-back days. You know how that goes.
Always seemed like the ability to pitch in back-to-back games on your rehab is usually kind of the last thing. When you do that and you're good, you're successful, then you're probably ready to go.
Because ultimately what you want to know if you're the manager is if the guys down there in the bullpen can handle an inning tonight and then a quick turnaround like they'll have tomorrow. Can he call down?
Sure.
And will you answer? Can you answer?
So Gonzalez with the walk. It's 11-4, the Astros lead.
Now batting, number 12, Max Stassi.
And here's Max Stassi. Stassi, a ground out, a strikeout, and a ground out. Pitch just a little bit high. So the Mariners beat the Angels 8-6 to finish off that sweep. The Mariners got, yeah, they really are. They're now 44-24. And it was Mitch Haniger with a walk-off home run in the 9th inning. Healy tied it in the 7th. Haniger won it in the 9th. So Mitch Haniger has 16 home runs and 52 RBI.
Stas going to wear that one right off the toe. And if you look at Stassi, if you watch his setup, not conventional, or not as conventional if you look at some of the other guys. He's an individual who I believe is paying attention to, subscribing to the idea of trying to lift the ball, launch angle. I know that's just an approach. I think that term gets kind of used incorrectly at times. But you can see him, he's got that bat relaxed, laid on his back shoulder. Not up, doesn't look like he's necessarily working down through the baseball, looking to meet the baseball at a certain point. Lift, separate, make 3 left turns. Everybody likes to do that.
So are you telling me that launch angle, which we hear 100 times a day, is more in your mind than it is mechanical?
Oh no. I mean, there's definitely some physical components to being able to execute one way or another, and I think that's where we're at, is we're trying to figure out what the best approach is. That's where hitters are trying to figure out.
Fowler hustling over into left center field.
You know, I don't know if we might be able to grab a replay, but if you look at Stassi and the way he makes contact, or where he makes contact with the pitches up in the zone, maybe not necessarily the opportunity to get on top of a pitch, but here up in the zone, you can see him, he's working, it looks, from down to up.
So here's Marisnik with 1 out. Sharp breaking ball from Coulomb, but it's down and in. Marisnik a double, a strikeout, and a fly ball to right field. So you have the Mariners getting the Angels today. You have our game here, and the Rangers are playing down at Dodger Stadium. That game is 2-2 in the 7th inning.
Seems like things have calmed down since their spat.
Yeah, disagreement. The Angels, so well, they're probably landing right now, flying in from Seattle after being swept. So the Angels will have an off day tomorrow in the Bay Area. And then A's and Angels, 3-game weekend set. What do you think Mike Trout's going to do on his day off?
Take a weather balloon ride?
Think he golfs?
He does golf. I don't see that happening during the season.
No. Okay.
I mean, I know that a lot of guys do that. You know, Cespedes, obviously well documented his golfing
I want to know what Mike
excursions.
Trout does on his day off.
Number 4, George Springer.
Probably just hangs out, walks around.
You know, Cup, I think that's a bigger story than just for Mike Trout. I think a lot of folks, a lot of fans across baseball would be interested
Absolutely. I'm a fan.
in learning something about Mike Trout that you don't know, aside from the fact that he's a weather buff.
That's
You know,
right. He does like weather. That's
we all
right.
know that.
That's a good call.
He's just a, you know, he's just like all of us, just a weatherman trapped in a Hall of Famer's body.
Exactly. See, but I would think, and most of the visiting teams stay in San Francisco. I think a guy like Mike Trout, even though he's very well known, I think he could probably walk around the streets and not be bothered. Would you agree?
I would agree. I would agree. I mean, you're going to get, you know, you got your diehards. You know who you are. Take a picture. Give me an auto.
No swing, says Angel Hernandez.
And he's in position, okay?
Hurts my back when he does that. Springer is 1 for 4. (11 to 4) the Astros lead. So 2-1 the count.
What are the odds you think I get Mike Trout out on a boat, maybe a little Alcatraz trip? We take off without him?
Leave him there.
Just thinking out loud.
Where's Trout?
No?
That's probably a pretty popular destination for
Oh, you know it
players
is.
who want to come in, check
absolutely.
out Alcatraz.
Absolutely. San Francisco's got a lot to offer down there, and I know that ball players, big fans of getting out, checking out the cities you go to and travel. You're afforded a tremendous opportunity to travel the country and the world at times.
inside 3-1, and the bases are loaded, and there's only one out, and Jose Altuve is coming up. Scott Emerson's going to have a chat with Manny Coulombe, who seems a little out of whack right now. He's walked 3.
Uncharacteristically, he's having trouble throwing that breaking ball for strikes as well, and that's one of the key things you want to do coming in out of the bullpen, whether it's a high leverage situation where it's just a matter of eating innings. Come in spinning that breaker for strikes.
Number 27, Jose Altuve.
So here's Altuve. He's got a single, a walk, a fly ball to center, and a walk.
This right here, this is why it's important as a reliever to come in and be able to throw your off speed for strikes early in the count. Jose Altuve, you can bet he's sitting heater here, bases loaded. He's aggressive.
And a little slider, and it's a strike. Marisnik or Gonzalez at third, Marisnik at second, Springer at first. Defense is pretty straight away for the A's. In fact, it's very straight away.
Well, again, the A's last in all of baseball in shifts against right-handed hitters, Kipe, 1.2% of the time.
Huh. Up the middle, see if the A's can turn 2, and they will. Very close play at first base, and I would imagine the Astros are going to check it. Bang, bang play. Let's. And he's out.
Oh, yeah.
So a single run on the Gaddis home run here in the top of the 7th inning. So it's 7th inning stretch time from the Coliseum. Astros 11, the A's 4.
California is brought to you by the Chrysler Pacifica Hybrid, America's first hybrid minivan. Test drive one today.
Eleven to 4, the Astros lead. It's the bottom of the 7th inning.
For the Athletics, batting for Lucroy, number 19.
So this is Lucroy's spot. You saw him in the dugout. Josh Fegley's going to get an at-bat, catch a couple innings. And the new pitcher is Will Harris. 2-3, 4.70 ERA, so a little bit of a high ERA for Will Harris. He's probably not used to that.
You see the 26 strikeouts in 23 innings. He's got some swing and miss in him.
And Tony Kemp takes over at second base, so Altuve will get a couple innings off. So Kemp played left field last night. He's going to play second base tonight. So Fegley hitting for Lucroy. That big overhand curve from Harris.
Yeah, he likes that, especially with 2 strikes. 16 of his 26 punch outs on the curveball this season. This is go-to.
Harris, this is his 4th year with the Houston Astros, and he's been a very important guy in their bullpen each year. His ERAs 1.90, 2.25, 2.98, and then this year in the high 4s. So Fegley strikes out. That's out number 1 here in the 7th. So Harris taking over for Cole, Garrett Cole.
Cole was impressive tonight. Although this does go down as his worst outing on the season, the Oakland A's were able to get to him, a couple long balls. But as far as mixing the pitches up, did a good job of mixing fastball, curveball. We talked about the increased usage, on both of those pitches.
Six strikeouts, 2 walks for Cole.
I tell you, Kyle, it's got to leave you to wonder if you're able to kind of keep the Astros at bay early on, what the game looks like. Tack on 4 against Cole. He doesn't have a 10-run cushion.
Absolutely.
Clearly not his sharpest outing of the season.
Two 2-0 to Fowler, who is hitless tonight. The A's have 6 hits in the game. The Astros have 12. That one sliced down the left field line, just foul. It's a good friend, Phil Pohl.
That's right. Body up, Philly.
Yeah.
Hey, babe.
He picked this?
Yeah, look at him. Tried to get off to the side there. Not so much, Philly. Wear it.
Is that a bullpen catcher or what?
That's right.
He looks like a bullpen catcher, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Fowler swings and misses at a pitch in the dirt, flipped to first. So back-to-back strikeouts for Harris here in the 7th inning.
Phil also looks like he eats dumbbells for breakfast. Right?
Yeah. When Phil's walking by you, just get out of the way.
Just make way.
Left fielder, number 20, Mark Canna.
So here's Canna with 2 outs. Red Sox beat the Orioles in Baltimore 5-1. So the Red Sox win and the Yankees lose. Yankees lost 5-4 to the Nationals. Sonny Gray got a no decision. So with that, Boston jumps into first place. They went into today's action even. So the Red Sox 47-22.
And see those numbers right there, that's just why math is not fun. 43 wins, team's got 4 more than you and you're in first place. Nope. Calculator is broken.
Yeah, Yankees got some catching up to do in games played. White Sox beat the Indians 3-2. At 35-31, but with a pretty, what I would imagine is a comfortable lead. And Will Harris knew that was a strike. He started walking off the mound and he strikes out the side in the bottom of the 7th.
win a free suite to the ball game. That's right, folks. A free suite for you and your 11 closest friends. Simply text BOOM to 60946. The contest will last through June 18th. Message and data rates do apply again. So simply text BOOM to 60946. See complete rules at athletics.com for details.
Next homestand will be the 4th of July.
Yeah.
It will actually end on the 4th of July with the day game on the 4th.
Happy birthday, Merca.
Yep. Road trip coming up for the A's: San Diego, Chicago, and Detroit. That will start on Tuesday night from Petco Park in San Diego. Chris Hatcher is pitcher number 5 tonight for the Athletics. Coulombe goes 1 inning. Hatcher pitched last night. In fact, he pitched a couple of innings last night. But this is what happens when your starter gets knocked out in the 2nd inning. Chad Pinder takes over at 3rd base. And Fegley, after pinch hitting, stays in the game as the A's catcher.
I tell you, that's just one of the worst parts. As a starting pitcher, going out and not being able to do your job and carry your water. You've got to go back in and look these other men in the bullpen in the face, knowing what sort of position you put them in. Look the rest of your teammates in the face.
Raymond Goudouin, lefty, throwing in the Astros bullpen. One and 2 to Carlos Correa, and a pitch in the dirt, blocked by Fegley. It's been Blackburn, Pagan, Hendricks, Coulombe, and Hatcher. Used 4 relievers last night and 4 so far tonight.
See Hatch having a nice go over his last 7 outings. 2 innings, .90 ERA.
Tries to get Correa to chase there. He wouldn't do it. Gurriel and Reddick to follow. That was line foul. Home run distance. Pitch was inside.
Well, there is no doubt in my mind that whether it was an oblique or an intercostal, the side muscle, he's feeling fine. He is getting to heaters on the inside. My word. Put a glove on that shoulder. Oh.
So Correa takes the walk.
But he is a peanut M&M guy, so I'll cut him some slack.
Yeah, I will too. His wife wants to get away from him right now, but she can't because they're stuck together by the headphones.
He's wearing the MP3. She's got it in her ear. Watch your lobes, lady.
Well, he made a good effort, but
he tried.
So leadoff man aboard here in the 8th inning. Yuli Gurriel steps up. 3 for 4, 3 singles and 3 RBIs tonight for Gurriel. He's got 27 runs batted in on the year.
And I know we talk a lot about the Altuves and the Correas, and Gaddis has been on another planet since he showed up here in the East Bay. George Springer, we know about him at the top of the lineup, aggressive, pop, great defender. But Yuli Gurriel, to be right there in the thick of things, hitting over 400 with runners in scoring position. We've mentioned it a few times.
It's an interesting fit with Gurriel because
He signed a long contract, and he's from Cuba, but he's not a young player.
Right.
He played in Cuba for a long time. He's 33 years old. So, you know, we're not talking about
He's
a
no spring
23,
chicken.
24-year-old player. This is his third year with the Astros. He signed in 2016 and then made multiple stops in the minor leagues, and it was just kind of a let's ramp him up and get him ready. And he got to the big leagues. He played in 36 games in 2016. And then last year he was the regular. He had 18 home runs and 75 runs batted in last year. He had 43 doubles and he hit 299. So that's a very good season.
You know, we joke about Chad Pinder having to take his entire bag down with him to the field every day in an effort to take all of the gloves with him he may need to use throughout the course of a single ball game. And for kids out there, guys, high school, junior college, every opportunity you have to play somewhere else in the field.
An emergency swing there by Gurriel, and he strikes out.
We'll take a look at this. An emergency is right. I think he might have been sitting on something soft here. He missed that fastball by a foot.
Josh Reddick.
But again, you have the opportunity as a young player still early in your developmental path to branch out and gain some experience, whether it's a corner position in the infield, being able to play all three outfield positions. The ball comes off very differently between left field and right field. But having a handle on all that, you make yourself very attractive, not only in the draft, but once you maybe earn that seat at the professional table. Now the managers, phone calls that are made from A ball to double A. What's he like? What can he do for me? He can play infield and outfield. He can spell a couple different guys. Well, now you become a very attractive piece in the bigger puzzle.
Absolutely. Reddick. Swing foul. So 1-2 to Reddick, who's 1 for 4 in the game. Rangers and the Dodgers still tied 2-2 in the 8th inning. It's the only other game still going on outside of this one. So 2-2 the count.
He had to try to work him up in the zone with the heater here. See him challenge him down and away. Well located fastball.
Grounded towards second. And they'll get the force out at second base. Ball was like hit kind of down off the end of the bat.
Yeah, well, again, one of the best pitches in baseball. Well located fastball down and away.
Number 11.
Force the hitter to beat you the other way. It's going to take us to the Ford Smart Play of the day, brought to you by your California Ford dealers. And none other than Oso Blanco himself, Evan Almighty, on an absolute tear out here in the East Bay. 2 for 3, 2 long balls, 5 RBIs. That marks the second straight evening. 5 steaks for the big man.
Gaddis gets another shot here.
Outstanding job by Josh Phegley there. You know, 11-4 ball game. You don't have 2 strikes. We got a runner on first base. And he's selling out, doing what he can to body up, keep this thing in front of him. Nothing else I like to see the mindset.
Yep.
He hasn't checked out.
Reddick not being held. The score 11-4. Hatcher last night threw 31 pitches. He's thrown 20 so far tonight.
23rd time in Major League Baseball history, players had back-to-back 5 RBI games. And that's what Gaddis is sitting on. 2 homers tonight. A 3-run shot and a solo shot and a sacrifice fly. That's how he has put together his 5 RBIs tonight. He now has 42 RBIs. I'm just looking. He's leading the team.
We had 32 48 hours ago.
Last 3-homer game. Remember Carlos Lee, big, strong, right-handed hitter.
Yeah. El Caballo.
And a good take by Gaddis. So A's pitchers have walked 8 in this game. So 2 on, 2 out, and here's Marwin
Number
Gonzalez.
9, Marwin Gonzalez.
Marwin Gonzalez is 2 for 3, single, home run, fly ball to left, and a walk. First pitch, that one's a strike, 93 miles an hour, right on the outside corner. Astros will send Verlander to the mound tomorrow. The A's will send Frankie Montas. He's been a good story so far, 3-0.
He has come up and taken the rotation by storm.
3 starts, 3 wins. So you can listen to the game, 95.7 with Ken, Vince, and Ray, or you can check it out on the MLB Network. Or maybe you do both. You can watch and listen to your A's announcers.
Maybe you play hooky and you come join me up in the treehouse tomorrow.
Oh, really?
Just saying.
What are you going to be doing up there? Playing foosball?
Yep, probably foosball. Catch a game of billiards or 2.
Dallas Braden in the treehouse tomorrow. One and 2 the count, so 12:35 first pitch. And Mike Trout and the Angels will be here over the weekend. Off day Monday, San Diego Tuesday. '27th pitch for Hatcher. And that one's low.
See Marwin Gonzalez. Not quite sure. Soft check at that. Marwin Gonzalez, not a guy you just want to lay one in there for, obviously. The ability to shoot you out of the park, hit the home run opposite field earlier today in the 2nd inning.
And he went around that time, and that's a strikeout. So a couple of runners stranded for the Astros, and we are moving to the bottom of the 8th.
the grind that comes through every time. See your local Toyota dealer today. Toyota, let's go places. By Southwest Airlines. Low fares, no hidden fees. That's transparency. By Xfinity. X1 will change the way you experience TV. And by SoFi, a modern finance company.
All right, here's our game summary brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. Too much damage done early by the Astros. They led 10-0 after 2. 11-12-0 for Houston, 4-6-0 for the A's. Paul Blackburn knocked out in the second inning. So Garrett Cole got a pretty good chance to get his 8th win of the year. Gaddis, 5 RBIs last night, 5 RBIs again tonight. Chris Davis has a home run, and so does Steven Piscotty. So that's your game summary brought to you by Toyota. New pitchers, Ramin Gudwan, big, tall left-hander for the Astros. 6'4", 215 pounds. Those are his AAA numbers. 43 strikeouts in 29 innings.
Some serious swing and miss, Kyle.
And that one fouled straight back.
95 from the left side.
That's the kind of night it's been, folks. Jake Smolinski is warming up in the bullpen, and he's going to be the A's pitcher in the 9th inning, I would imagine.
See there, 8th and 9th respectively. Lou Trevino and Blake Trinan.
Reddick was shaded over toward left center field, and he makes the catch.
Well, it's time now for the Chrysler drive of the game, and none other than KD. That's right. Get yourself a heater up and out. Salute to the boys in the dugout. Clap hands. Nice to see KD settling right back in.
First pitch to Davis. Swing and a miss, 87 miles an hour.
You can see there the action, downward action on the off speed. Yeah, 95, 97 mile an hour arm speed on the heater.
Looks like he tried the same pitch. So 1-1 to Davis. He's also singled and scored in the 4th inning, so he's 2 for 3. And that one is launched to left field, and that baby is gone. A 2-homer game for Chris Davis. He's got 19 on the year.
Well, here comes that slider, soft coming to KD. You better bury that thing. Let me tell you what. Chris Davis gets the foot down, watches that thing spin right into him, and he does not miss, Kite. Exit stage left.
Well, he saw that curve, whatever it was, a couple times,
yep.
And then that one just kind of hung up there, and he ripped it. So the A's with 3 home runs tonight. They have now hit 85 home runs on the year.
You can see there he's telling him. You can see it out of the hand, that mixer. He's trying to bring that slider down and in.
See, that's the pitch right there that Chris Davis hit out of the ballpark.
Right, and if he could have gotten that about 2 inches down below the corner of that box you see on your TV at home, might have had a little bit better shot.
Hit hard. Gonzalez could not pick it up clean, and Olsen's going to be aboard. Shift was on Marlon Gonzalez, who plays some shortstop. We'll see what the call is. It was hit hard. So it's going to be it's an 5. So first error in the game for either team. The Astros, a couple errors now in this series, but only 22 errors on the year. So Pinder gets his first at bat. He's hitting for Chapman. Came in the game for Chapman. Sometimes for a regular player, and Chapman's played pretty much every inning of every game this year. He's had a couple innings off. Even getting a couple innings off tonight with a day game tomorrow, that makes a difference.
No doubt.
Doesn't seem like it would be a big deal, but it can be. Driven to center. Marisnick back. Marisnick near the wall, and he leaps up and he caught it. Olson's going to have to hustle back to first, and they got him. Matt Olson had ran past second base. He had a touch second base coming back through, and he just could not get back in time. So terrific play by Jake Marisnick. A's do get a run on Chris Davis' second home run of the night. So we have reached the ninth inning here at the Coliseum. 11-5, the Astros lead. Check out who's pitching for the Athletics. Jake Smolinski. So, interesting note here. Obviously, it's his first career pitching appearance.
Sure.
He's the 12th A's pitcher, or 12th A's position player to pitch in a big league game. So it has happened, and actually seen it a couple times a couple years ago. Piscotty's not going to get it. It hits at the base of the wall. Stassi is going to have a sliding double.
Well, that's just not very nice.
No, that's not. So the interesting note about that, here is the position players to pitch in Oakland A's history. But none of them have been here. They've all been on the road. So this is the first time that a position player for the A's has ever pitched here at the Coliseum.
That's a big deal.
Ike Davis probably could have pitched in the big leagues. And that one is hit deep to left field by Jake Marisnick, and it is gone. And that's not nice either. So what do you do here if you're the Astros in the dugout? Do you give them the silent treatment?
No, you're fighting at the bat rack. That's what you're doing if you're the Houston Astros. There's a small brawl that is broken out right near the bat rack. I mean, it's just
number 4.
It's unfair. I mean, everybody in the yard knows what's coming. you know, if you want to call it a fastball.
So Springer is retired. You know, I think what happens, Dallas, on maybe a more serious note, is listen, we try to have fun with it. It is a light moment in a baseball game. And listen, if a position player is in the game, that means it's probably not a great game.
Right. Hasn't gone well.
You know who does not like to do this is the manager.
No, God, no.
And not just Bob Melvin. Managers do
Anybody.
not want to have to do this.
Anybody.
And you know what? He didn't want to have to use Chris Hatcher tonight.
Right.
He didn't have a choice. So again, it's a light moment in the ball game for some of us, but not for the manager.
To 84 right now, that's harder than any fastball I threw my last start in the big leagues. So
you didn't throw any fastballs your last time. Well, that's Kemp, who's retired. So 2 outs here in the 9th inning. 13-5, the Astros lead. Astros scored 6 runs on 12 hits last night. They have 13 runs on 14 hits tonight.
Number 1, Carlos Correa.
So they're flexing their muscles a little bit. Carlos Correa, excuse me, hits for the 6th time.
When that first pitch, home run from Jake Marisnick entering today, Astros had 7 home runs on the first pitch of their at-bats over the last 2 weeks. That's the most in baseball.
Well, that's not a surprise. We know how they go about their business. That one's skied to left center, shallow. Simeon gets back there, says he's got it, and he does. So all in all, a 9-pitch inning for Smolinski, gives up the 2-run homer to Marisnick. Bottom of the 9th coming up.
Be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Athletics Investment Group, LLC.
So bottom of the 9th inning, Marcus Simeon to lead it off against Ramin Gudwan, the left-hander who gave up a home run to Davis in the 8th inning in his first inning of work. Garrett Cole went 6. Harris pitched the 7th, Gudwan the 8th, and now here in the 9th. The first pitch is in first strike. Again, remember, day game tomorrow. Watch the game on the MLB Network or listen to the guys on 95.7 The Game. Verlander and Montas, the pitching matchup.
You know, Kai, if you're looking for silver linings,
Yep, I am.
in a game like tonight, you think about Garrett Cole and the tear he's been on this season. And the Oakland A's lineup able to string together some ABs, get to him a little bit.
Yep. Yeah, they get 6 hits and the 4 runs off him. pop-up. Should reach the seats end, it will.
So I think that's something you take away from a game like this. Again, I got to believe that you're looking for any bright spots against a guy like Garrett Cole.
Yeah, I think you're right. 1-2 pitch, high fastball, and Simeon strikes out. But just looking at the 6 innings, Garrett Cole had 1 3-up, 3-down inning.
Right.
Now batting right fielder, 25, Steven.
Now, we don't know if he was pitching differently than he would have if the game would have been tighter, but the point is I thought the A's actually had some decent at-bats against Cole. Piscotty takes a strike on the inside corner, 97 miles an hour. 2-homer game for Chris Davis, giving him 19 now on the year and 48 RBIs. Nasty pitch there. Duan. Very tall and lanky.
He does an outstanding job of creating angle, huh? Downhill.
Yeah, right over the top from a left-hander, which you don't see a lot.
Right. That Iron Mike. So I think that homer from KD is really forced Goudouin to try to get that slider down towards the back foot. That's why you see him burying it and bouncing it.
Begley will be next. Strike 3 call. High strike. Piscotty just says, you know what? I'm out of here. See if it was a little bit high.
Now
And it was a little
the
bit.
catcher,
Number 19, that breaking ball, he's working on trying to get down in the zone. Finds himself in between right now, but got the benefit of the doubt.
So 2 outs, and Fegley steps in. Bases are empty. Fegley pinch hit in the 7th inning and struck out. Then he stayed in the game for the Crow. First pitch, 96 in their first strike. Full shift on for Fegley. 3 infielders on the left side, and now it's 0-2. You see that a lot. Infield shifted one way, outfield shifted the other way.
Yeah.
Two pitch is a little bit high. Few hardy souls have hung around tonight.
Sticking it out.
Yep. Duan delivers, and Fegley just got a piece of it, rolls it foul. First place, Seattle Mariners won, so the Astros need to win just to keep pace.
Is that something you thought you'd be saying?
No, that's it. Mariners kind of surprising everybody. And there's the changeup, and Fegley strikes out, and Duan strikes out the side in the bottom of the 9th inning. So a very disappointing night for the Athletics. Evan Gattis, another big night. He knocks in 5 runs, and the Astros have won the first 2 games of this series. Tonight's game took 3 hours and 4 minutes. It was played in front of 9,164. The final score tonight from the Coliseum: the Houston Astros beat the Athletics 13-5. So the A's back at the 500 mark at 34-34. Time now for A's Post Game Live. Here's Brody Brazil.